I've been using laser engravers for a while now, and one question that I get is people wonder how to program them, or heard about the expensive application called Lightburn that they need to purchase. This video has two goals. First, to show you how simple it is to use those machines, and second, yes, I'll use Lightburn, but I'll also show you an entirely free alternative to do the exact same project, and I'll explain why some people still prefer to pay to have Lightburn instead. The other application that I'll use is called LaserGRBL. To demonstrate this, I'll be using my Blaze X M3 Pro, which is 200 by 150 millimeters, 10 watts, and has a ton of ways to use it, as I've demonstrated with the review I did on it, linked in the description. I wanted a simple project that uses both cutting and engraving in the same sequence, and find something that I actually need to make with my engraver. And as spring is about to be here, I thought about seed markers for plants I'll sprout from my garden in little jars along the windows. Last year from Etsy, I bought a collection of those markers, made to be laser engraved, and I selected 4 to make today on both Lightburn and LaserGRBL, starting with Lightburn. Right away, I'll explain the files I have, which are the 4 markers, complete with the shape and design, a file that I can easily just import as is. The first app that we'll use, Lightburn, is available on both Mac and PC, and as a mainly Mac user, this is really good for me. I'll tell you right away, the alternative I'll discuss later in this video is only available for Windows, which is not a problem for me as my shop computer is on Windows. But I sure like being able to bring Lightburn into my office where my main computer is. With Lightburn, I can import the file that has all the information or choose to use the separate files, but today I'll use the full one. On this Blaze X M3 machine, which has 10 watts of power, I'm running at 100%, 150 millimeters per minute for the cutting, and 3D engraving, 20% power at 800 millimeters per minute for the speed. Once I got those settings done, I like to use the framing option, which makes the laser go around the area it'll engrave, making sure you're in the bounds of your wood. Let's get it going, with the cut first, then the engraving, which is not ideal, but it'll work for now. I could and should have reversed those, but since this is a small cut, they're not going to cause issues with this more or less flat material. I love looking at laser engravers in action. They're fun technology that really push creativity, and I love having them in my shop. They came out great. I could have went a little faster for the cut, but I'll keep the same settings for the next app as we want a real comparison. Now on my Windows shop computer, I'm running LaserGRBL for the free version of this project and test. When using this app, you open a file and then right away you have to give it the settings and scale. You can't change or move it after. So right away your SVGs need to be aligned, which those are. In Lightburn you can change settings after the fact, scale, move stuff, so here's one of the reasons people pay for it. Functionality wise, as you'll soon see, there's nothing this app can't do that Lightburn can. Just a lot of comfort features. Now for the second part of the cut, the engraving. If I do File, Open, it'll replace what we just did, and that's a little confusing. Until you realize that you just need to do File, Append, which adds another image to the previous one. If you want to change anything though on the first or second image or want to change the order, you have to start all over with File, Open. You cannot change anything, every step is permanent. LaserGRBL comes with the same framing options as Lightburn, so you can make sure you're in the frame before firing it up. Once you're ready, click Send to Computer and it's going to ask you to make sure to put your goggles on. Then it's started. As you'll see, it started with the engraving this time. The reason it's preferable to do this is in case your material has flexes in it, sometimes cutting parts out can have it raise it up. Then the laser can hit them while doing the engraving or end up not well aligned. It's just better practice to do the engravings than the cuts. All done, let's compare, but this should, and I expect them to, be the same. As expected, exactly the same. As I said, you can do everything with LaserGRBL, so don't let the price of Lightburn stop you from getting and using a laser engraver. I hope this guide made it a little bit more clear how to use those machines, as in my reviews I tend to just make products from them. Thanks to BlazeX again for sending this machine over. I love using it and it was perfect for this example. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos, and see you next time. Check the links in the description if you're interested in getting one for yourself.